Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Capricorn is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Capricorn, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Oh, look at that. 9 of Cups. Beautiful energy. This is really an optimism. This is, did we get the 9 of Cups in your last reading too? I kind of think we did. I kind of think it might have even been the very first card. I can see that you're somebody very concerned with living a life that is meaningful. You're trying to find the significance in what you're doing. I almost feel like you're really learning to love what you do at the same time that you're trying to continue to do what you love, right? And so there's two sides to that coin. There's somebody that takes their life as it is and says, I'm going to find meaning and value in what I'm doing now. And at the same time, I'm going to influence the world in such a way that I can seek out those things that I find meaningful already. And so there's a balance there. And I feel like a lot of the time we get lopsided, right? I might feel like, well, I just have to, this is my life, and I just got to learn to love it, right? Other times someone might say, I hate this. I'm going to do everything I can to figure out what I like and what I find meaningful and where I find value and significance and go out and do only that, right? I think the truth lies somewhere in between, but this is a beautiful card. This is you following your bliss. This is you living your absolute best life. This is the dream that keeps on dreaming. This is the happiness that keeps on happening, right? This is fulfillment on the physical, financial plane, mental, emotional, spiritual, creative planes, okay? This isn't just abundance. Abundance would be the 3 of Cups, right? It's called abundance. The 3 of Cups would be just any one particular level, either physically, financially abundant, or mentally, emotionally abundant, or spiritually, creatively abundant, right? You've got all 3 of these, right? It's like we had 3 of Cups cards. I think my math is right. So this to me is super abundance. This is the ultimate. And we can just talk about this card for half an hour if you want, and I can tell you all the good things that are coming your way. All the meaning and significance that you're going to feel and find and discover in what you're currently doing. And all those new things that you are seeking out that are going to bring you an intense amount of joy and fulfillment and significance. Okay? But maybe we put it into some context, see if we get some details, right? Let's see what else we've got here. 9 of Cups. Wow, I do feel like this was the first card in the last reading, and I think it was for you, Cap. So we've got a 3 of Swords now. Don't sigh. Don't gasp. This is really, really good, and I'll tell you why. The 3 of Cups, or the 3 of Swords, I'm still feeling that Cups energy. The 3 of Swords is our memory, okay? And sometimes it's really, we can forgive the past, but we don't want to forget it, right? If we forget, we're doomed to repeat it. So what I'm sensing is that your ability to recollect times of heartbreak, despair, really to your ability to remember any time in your life where you did not have a 9 of Cups, or at least a 3 of Cups somewhere, you know what it feels like to be missing one of these. And you're never going to forget that. This is somebody who, experiences some negative period of time, and I don't want to even talk about it really, but we've been through something, and now that is kind of, in a way, motivating me to continue my path of my 9 of Cups. I'm not going to forget what I've been through. And therefore, I'm going to always be looking for this meaning and this significance, finding it right now in what I'm doing, and seeking out new things to bring me more, right? To have more of this sense of fullness and satisfaction and significance in my life. So the Three of Swords in this case is very, very good. It is the memory of kind of what you don't want. You remember the life of not having this. And that's motivating us to never go back there again, to never be without this. And, I think it really keeps us hungry. Because see, this is a Nine of Cups. This is a process. This is a function. This is us out finding meaning, experiencing meaning, interacting with the world in a meaningful and significant way, whatever that means to you specifically. It's not a Ten of Cups. A Ten of Cups would be like ideal, picture perfect. I've got everything I want, and it's the beautiful picture at the end of the movie, and then the credits roll, right? It's really it's right there in my Pamela Coleman Smith pack. I just literally pulled it, the first card that was sitting right there. I literally just pulled it out like that, and it's the Ten of Cups, and this is the absolute perfection of life. It even looks like the ending of a movie. Right? It just looks like, and now the credits are going to start rolling. It's the happily ever after, right? So we'll leave that card up there. I think that's a good idea. Wow, that's pretty cool. That doesn't happen like that often. And so we've got the Nine instead. So I think the Three of Swords is us still feeling a little bit of that hunger, where I still want to continue this Nine of Cups process. And maybe we'll never get that absolute, perfect movie ending of life and the credits will roll, right? Maybe we don't want to get that. I don't want the movie to be over. I want to keep going. I want there to be something else, some other adventure for our heroes to go on, right? I want there to be another quest. I don't like it when movies end. If it's a movie I really like, if it's a movie that I find to be rewarding and abundant and super abundant even, best movie we've ever watched, we don't want it to end. So we like the Nine. Ten of Cups is good, but it's the ideal. It's the ideal that we will never truly attain, or that we don't want to ever fully attain, right? And I think that's why we've got the Three of Swords here, because it's like that last cup. That last cup, between the 9 and the 10, that last cup is still missing. Good, gives me something to do, gives me a reason to get up in the morning, and gives me something to strive for, to continue expanding and continue trying to make progress in whatever, right? Very nice. I like it. Let's see what we got underneath everything. Well, there's the Three of Cups. Oh man, this is pretty rare. This is pretty rare, these cards that we've got. They don't come out like this usually. The Three of Cups is you knowing what that last final cup would be for you. You have a tremendous awareness of your own desires. I feel like you're a very sensual person. I feel like you have an ability to really express your feelings, and not just like telling people when you're mad or whatever. I feel like you're somebody who, when you love something, when you're enjoying that meal at that restaurant, like it just shows on your face. Like people can tell, like, wow, that person's having like a spiritual experience, right? You're somebody that is, you know yourself, and I don't think you're very self-conscious, like in a bad way, I feel like you, when you feel this abundance in your heart, the Three of Cups, right? Whatever level, if it's physical, financial, mental, emotional, spiritual, creative, it's just flowing out of you. It's just, people can't help but notice that you're glowing, that you're shining, right? That there's just some kind of light radiating from you. And it's your soul, it's your aura. Yeah. This is a very beautiful set of cards. And there's always that little tinge of sorrow that kind of, reminds us what we're doing, why we're doing it, what we're striving for, reminds us to always be thankful. The Ten of Cups up here, I know this isn't really one of your cards that I pulled. I mean, I did, but this card reminds us to be thankful of what we have, right? Especially because we got that Three of Swords. We know what it's like to not have it, so I'm very thankful that now we have it. Okay? So I feel like your life is geared toward this significance, okay? We've got an Ace of Wands in the background. I think it wasn't always like this. I think there was a time very recently where you just kind of, I don't know, you just like, it's like this spontaneous human combustion. You just suddenly one day woke up and you started, questing for your life and for your love and for your satisfaction. It was really one day we just said, I'm done with not being in control. I'm done with not pursuing my bliss and my happiness, Maybe there was a time in your life where you felt a little aimless, or maybe there was a time in your life where you felt that the only abundance that you were meant to have was on a particular plane, physical, financial, mentally, emotional, or spiritual, creative, right? Maybe there wasn't a realization that you can have fulfillment on every level here like this kind of superabundance, right? So I feel like this is that moment where we just lit up, we just said, this is it, today's the day, all right? This is the card of consciousness. This is the card of sometimes sudden enlightenment, right? Sudden, Buddhahood. And I think it happened suddenly for you, where suddenly we started finding the meaning and the significance in the daily stuff that we were doing. Suddenly we had this ambition to go out and wake up your power card, that devil energy, and go out and pursue those other things that will bring more meaning and satisfaction to our lives. Okay? We're thinking of someone who's got a job, it pays the bills, but maybe there was a time where he just really didn't like it. It wasn't fulfilling. It wasn't satisfying. It didn't seem significant or meaningful. Well, this Ace of Wands is just that one day when you went into the office and people were like, wow, Cap, something's different about you. And you had this kind of love or this feeling of significance in the work that you were doing. And so you brought in this whole new vibe into this work. And maybe we started trying harder. We started putting more of ourselves into it because now we believe in it. Now we really feel that this is meaningful and significant, this work that we're doing. Maybe that's a very subjective opinion. Maybe in all actuality, what you're doing is not all that significant. That doesn't matter. What matters is how we choose to see it. Okay? Or we can quit our job and go find the job that really already satisfies our standard of, significance or meaning or purpose. You see? So there's two ways of approaching that, and I think you're doing both. And I don't know if this has anything to do with your job or your career. I don't know that. The water energy has given me a little bit of a suspicion, but I'll save my opinion for just a moment here. We've got the Moon card now. The Moon card talks about, this is kind of the call to adventure in a way. I think this maybe was the call to adventure. And now we're crossing the threshold. We're entering the belly of the whale. Any Joseph Campbell fans out there? Here, the Hero with 1,000 Faces, wonderful book. I think that's on my reading list, actually, on my channel. If it's not, it should be. But anyway, if you haven't read it, it's really wonderful. It's worth the effort to read it. I feel like this is the significance of our life, always having another adventure. Knowing that the adventure is not over. We think of the hero cycle, right? We get the call to adventure, we accept the call, we meet the guardian of the threshold, we enter the belly of the beast, we receive the initiation, the meeting with the goddess, the return home, and all this kind of stuff. And then we think it's over, and we think, okay, 10 of Cups, credits are rolling, the movie's over. I don't feel it works that way. I don't think it's meant to be just one round of the hero's journey, and then that's our life. I feel like we are all on many different heroes' quests, all at the same time, in different size circles, right? They're concentric circles almost. But I feel like they're repeating. So I feel it's more of a spiral, right, than a circle. And this, I think, is part of the allure of life for you. Knowing that we get to go through this process again, knowing that even though we're finding all of these significant things and we're doing all of these wonderful things in life, that there's still this little tinge of sorrow. There's still this something missing. There's still this memory of what it's like to not have it. And I remember what it's like to be thirsty, right? So I'm always going to make sure that I am trying to make sure I know where my next glass of water is coming from, right? And so we're kind of looking forward to that quest. I get to go out. And I used to, when I was a little, well, maybe a teenager or something, when it was time to have something to eat, I would always say like, all right, I'm going to go hunt. I'm going to go on this quest for some nourishment, whatever. I never actually hunted. Maybe just going in the refrigerator and hunting there. But it always felt like this quest, like this adventure that I was going to go on to see what food was there and what I could create, or what restaurant I could go find, or, these sorts of things. And we have to use our imagination to make life a little bit fun, right? And that's part of the moon card up here. But this is the threshold. This is that doorway to the belly of the whale, to our next kind of, our next quest, our next adventure, where, we're going to have to find that next significant part of our lives, that next cup to add to our cups, So I feel with this card, you're very much called to that kind of, that mystery, that allure of that, almost that danger of that adventure and that quest, right? I feel like you are on the cusp of something very significant now. Okay, so we're at this threshold where you're about to enter this kind of new period of time in your life, and now that we've got all of this water energy, I feel like there's some new kind of there's a new miracle in your life, right? I feel like you're being blessed with something new in this very kind of uncertain, again, kind of the belly of the beast, the belly of the whale, And I don't know if there's maybe a new addition to the family coming, or it could be a new pet. But I feel like there's new life around you. It's kind of this next great adventure of parenthood or grandparenthood or godparenthood, right? I feel that's something that's something going on in your life somewhere, yeah. But that's what the moon card kind of suggests to me, that we're very eager, we're very excited for this next great mystery of life. Okay, it could be that you're transitioning from career to retirement, or from school to career, or whatever it is, right? But I feel like it's the next big kind of transition for you. Let's keep going. Let's do the future position. Oh, of course, it's the Lover's card. The Lover's card now is you finding that thing in here. You're finding the Holy Grail, right? That we are uniting with whatever that next cup is, whatever that next significant thing is. And this is a real accomplishment for you. And I don't think it's just a one trip around and then we're done, the credits roll. I feel like this is an ongoing thing. This is not always a card of love relationships, okay? This doesn't have to be romance. We kind of think of it as like the romance of the Grail, right? The Holy Grail. The romance of the hero, that sort of romance. It could indicate a lover or a partner, a romantic partner. It could represent a family, a coming together of something. Okay. But what this card really indicates here is that you are uniting with this miracle, with this blessing, whatever form it takes, whatever that next cup is for you. Whatever that next significant thing is for you. It's either that significant job, that meaningful thing that we're going out and getting it, or it really could be you finding the meaning or the inspiration in what you're already doing. Like I said, there's two ways of approaching that kind of Nine of Cups energy. Either by finding significance in the life we have, or making the life we have, making the significant choices. This card's about choice, about commitment, about devotion, about inspiration, about union, about family, right? All of these things. This is very good. We're going to select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. We know it's not going to be the Ten of Cups, right? So whatever it's going to be, we're going to put Frankenduck right on top. Please help me pick a better name for that duck. I don't like Frankenduck. It reminds me of some kind of a hybrid food thing, like a turducken or something. So help me out with a new name. Drop it in the comments. Also, if you have a prediction for the card, drop that in the comments, right? And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It is totally free. Does not cost you anything. It helps out the channel, and I appreciate that. The channel needs your help. We're supported by viewers like you, right? I appreciate you very, very much. I really do. General energy now, Path of the Serpent. I can't wait. Princess of Pentacles. See that? This is a card that also may suggest a new addition, a new life, being born or coming into your life, some sort of a new addition. Could be a pet, could be a plant, could be a person. But this is your general energy, and the Princess of Pentacles reminds us that our life does not have to ever stop growing, right? That there is just infinite potential, that as long as we have a heart that's beating and air in our lungs, as long as we have some vitality left, we can continue growing and expanding and building our life. Okay? And as the Ten of Cups is showing, enjoying it too, finding meaning and value and fulfillment in what we're doing. Knowing that we can keep doing it as long as we wish or as long as we're able, in different forms, of course. When I'm very, very old, I don't think I'll be able to do the same things I can do now. And I certainly can't do now what I could do, 20 years ago. But, and that's part of this energy too, is finding the significance and finding a way to create meaning and value in your life with what you got. Okay, accepting the circumstances as they are, finding meaning and value in that at the same time, striving forward with that fire energy to create things that have meaning for you. So it's not just about this passive yielding or passive acceptance to whatever's going on in your life and learning to love it, right? It's not about that. There is an intentional energy that needs to be put into it. There is a knowledge of self that has to go into it. Okay? You got a toxic work environment. We don't go in and just pretend everything's okay and pretend that we like it and pretend that we find it meaningful and significant. Sometimes it doesn't work that way. And in those situations, that's when we have to strive and change it. To find something else to replace it, something that is meaningful. Okay? But there's no limit to what we can do and what we can grow. This is kind of this is an infinite manifestation. Every possibility, right? Every possibility is crystallizing now for you. And so I feel like this is another suggestion of the ongoing cycle, the spiral nature of the quest, of the significance of life. Because like nature, there's cycles continue. Right? On and on and on, again and again and again, but in a progression, in linearly forward through time. So nature is a spiral, right? And I feel like this is your general energy, that you are resonating with this process very, very much. And I find that to be quite a blessing on its own. The card of the environment, there we go, the spiral, the divine wheel, the wheel of fortune. And so another suggestion of the kind of ongoing cyclic nature of life, the spiral nature of life. And I think that this is you really expanding your life. Another card of abundance, right? Jupiter energy, prosperity, growth. I feel like this energy that you bring into your life is improving your life in such a way. It's like that job where I said we kind of just, it doesn't feel like I'm really doing anything meaningful, but you go into it with that Ace of Wands, and you go into it like it is the most meaningful thing that you've ever done. And for us, for right now, for this context, it is. And we bring something special to the table in that case. We're bringing our very best energy to it, and we're making it meaningful. We're making it, I'm finding value in what I'm doing. I'm finding satisfaction in what I'm doing. And as a side effect, you're also ascending. You're also being promoted. You're also expanding the business. You're also like being noticed, right? For all of this, it's not even really extra effort. It's just like a different attitude, a different perspective, a different consciousness, some sort of enlightenment that you're bringing to it, is helping to push the boundaries of things. So your life is getting better and better and better, right? If you're finding satisfaction or meaning, or there's some significance that you feel in what you're doing, you're going to do it better. Simple, right? If you don't like it, if it's not satisfying, if there's no significance or meaning to it, you're not going to do that well. It may be the exact same amount of effort. You may be putting in the same hours and the same effort, but there's a difference there, right? And I think that difference is really catching the eye of the universe. And I think Spirit is kind of matching you with that effort. And I feel like your life is really going to expand. It could be the expansion of the family. I still feel that energy with you. But this is just, this is every area of your life getting better and better, right? Financially, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, creatively, we have the expansion and the growth with the Jupiter energy and the Wheel of Fortune. Now, what is the difficulty to all this? I would expect the difficulty to be something that relates to just really us getting older, right? The idea of time, the idea, maybe it'll be a Four of Wands, right? Earthly time. I feel like it's something related to us just eventually we're going to be running out of steam. You know, we can't keep going like a freight train all night long, you know. Eventually we're going to kind of exhaust our vital energy. There's a Five of Cups. Five of Cups is disappointment. And the reason why we've got disappointment, whoops, I think I was on the wrong camera there. The reason why we have disappointment in the obstacle here, the disappointment comes from feeling like I didn't do enough. Feeling like I still have all of this aspiration, I still have all of this desire and drive, but I don't have the energy for it. I don't have the time. I don't have the physical, ability to do things like I used to, right? This is a very good problem to have, right? To be getting older and older and older in life, and to feel as if I never ran out of things to do. I never ran out of ideas. I never ran out of aspirations. I never ran out of quests to do, Otherwise, let's say we get to be 40 or 50 or 60 years old, 70, 80, 90 years old, and it's just we're bored. It's just like, can they roll the credits already? Because I'm bored. I got nothing else I want to do, right? So I think that the Five of Cups really is what we want in this position. I want my obstacle to be that, I had so much to do, but then time ran out, Better than the other way around, in my opinion. Anyway, let's look at the final outcome card here. Nine of Swords. Interesting. I was not expecting the Nine of Swords. Throws a bit of a wrench into things. I think the other obstacle that we can look at these cards together, the other kind of disappointment, I think, would be if we did not activate this energy. If we got to the end of our life and we realized that we never made our life significant, that I never found value or significance or meaning in a real way in what I was doing, and that I never went out and found those things to do that were meaningful to me. Okay, so this is kind of the regret of the life wasted or insignificant, right? We definitely don't want that. So I think this is showing us, like I said, the other way around. I would rather, have so many ideas and so many things I want to do, but then time ran out, rather than now I'm all out of ideas and I'm just waiting for the clock to run out, right? Just playing the waiting game there. Let's look at the mystery card. Maybe Devil Energy or Power card. It's not going to be the Ten of Cups. We already have that. Maybe the Nine of Cups again, right? Maybe a 9 or a 10 of Pentacles. If you got a prediction, drop it in the comments. Well, we got a 7 of Pentacles. Well, that's nice. I like that. The 7 of Pentacles, typically it's a card called failure. I don't like that. I call this card not yet succeeding, right? It's not a failure. It's just an almost a success. It's, becoming a success. And to me, this really is the idea of we want more work to do. I want to have a garden to tend, I want to watch something grow. I want to be able to take something that is not sufficient, and I want to nurture it, and I want to make it something, right? So sometimes this is a card that says we're a little impatient. I've planted all these seeds, and now I'm just going to sit here and stare at them, stare at the dirt, and wonder why they haven't grown. Like, come on, right? So I think the 7 automatically suggests the 8 of Pentacles, where we need to have that patience, that things are growing, but we can't expect things to happen right away, right? So I think in some ways, this card is also about things that you're doing, the significance and the meaning that you're finding in your life, that you're not actually going to see the results of. But that's not the point. Finding significance in something that you're planting for later, when you might not be here. For next generations, kind of planting the legacy, planting something for, future generations, that you are involved in something that you may not really get to see it flower or bear fruit. You're planting the seeds, and that is the meaningful thing. That is the significance. That what you're doing right now has tremendous meaning, even if, I'm not going to be here to witness the continued evolution of that. Okay? And I'm not trying to be morbid or anything like that, but I think we kind of got the 5 and the 9 here at the end to suggest some of this. And I think about that with my daughter, not trying to be morbid, but I'm in my 40s, right? My daughter's 4 years old. So my wife, my friends, my family, they like to kind of say, yeah, when she graduates high school, you're going to be, so many years old. And I say, yeah, I know. So, there's an advantage and a disadvantage to having, in my case, having kids later in life. Okay. And it wasn't a choice. It just worked out this way for me. It just never came about in my younger years that I had a child. And now we do. And it is an absolute miracle and an absolute blessing. And it's also, it's also kind of has that 3 of Swords, a little bit of a tinge of sorrow, because I know that just because of human lifespan, there's going to be a lot that I'm not going to be able to witness. I'm not going to be able to see the effects of generations beyond her and what she chooses to do with her life, and how her life kind of, her choices ripple out into the future generations, even if she doesn't have kids or whatever. I don't mean that. I mean just through her interaction with the world, right? What kind of a mark she's going to leave on the world. So I'm trying to pay as much attention now as I can, and I'm not planning on going anywhere. I got a good 40, 50 years left, fingers crossed, God willing. But I feel like with the 7 of Pentacles, there's that tinge of sorrow, that 3 of Swords, okay? That what we're doing right now is absolutely significant, but we know that it's for future generations. It's for later in life to enjoy the fruits of it, right? And it doesn't take away the significance of what you're doing. Yeah. We're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there should be a link up top. There's one down below. New readings for Capricorn Thursday and Sunday, 6 a.m. Chicago time. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. Doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. Especially if you're a new viewer. If this is your first time here, please let me know in the comments. I love to see that. I'm happy you're here. You're always welcome. There's plenty of room. And I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you, and I love you, and we're all in this together.